pay very, very close attention to what your market wants and not what you want to sell them. Huge disconnect in small business.
Good day and welcome to Banking on Success Together. I'm Janice Spooner, Market President for Great Plains Bank in Southlake and your host for today's podcast. As you've seen, if you've watched the podcast, this is specific to our community, North Central Texas, all of the area cities and towns that surround Southlake and the bank, and really understanding what's going on in the economy and for consumers and our community at large. We focus on positive impact activities and events that are going on, but as of late, the conversation has been around the Fed. When will the Fed drop rates? Well, they did. Actually, a surprise to a lot of economists, the Fed dropped the rates by 50 basis points last week, and that correlated with Wall Street Journal Prime going down to 8%. A lot of things are happening. A lot of economists are still concerned about what's happening. That was bigger than what they expected. So more to come on that. But I would say to small businesses, you need to know what is happening with your business banking. And a takeaway from that is just really understand what your deposit account types are, your loans are, know your banker, because right now with rates falling, it's also going to impact your return on your deposit accounts. It's such a huge sigh of relief for our loans with our small businesses in our community, credit cards. Those rates should start to trickle down. And so, but you got to be informed. You really need to know your banker and have those meetings to make sure that you're set up to succeed with that. Today on our podcast, we have a great guest speaker. You're going to get to learn about her in depth in just a moment. But I will tell you that Dacia Coffey is an inspirational and wonderful human being, and she is going to share really with us how small businesses can do their marketing, so stay tuned. Now, let's move over to consumer and mortgage rates. With the Fed drop, the rates have actually almost hit 6%. Compared to last year at this time when they were peaking at 8%, that is a huge improvement. I know a lot of consumers are still out there holding on to those rates, 2.5%, 3%, and I think I can speak very candidly and truthfully that we're not ever going to see those rates again, barring some big event. So this is normal. This is a normal rate environment, and over the last 40 years, this is normal. So if you've been sitting on the edge waiting to go buy a house or to do that home improvement loan, it's time you can get going. Even with what's coming up in just a couple of months with the election, just go for it. Get out there, keep the economy going, buy that next house, sell your home, and get into something else that you want to either upsize or downsize or refinance. As it relates to small business, despite the upward revisions of the U.S. economic growth last quarter, there are still some significant looming challenges that small businesses are going to have, especially if they borrowed funds in the last 5 years. Those rates for commercial lending are adjustable rate mortgages or they're balloons. Either way, if you've taken out a loan and have those types of loans, in the last 5 years, you're going to need to call your banker. Know what's coming because the rates back 4 years ago were 3.5%, 4%. And now, even with the Fed dropping rates, they're going to be at 8 to 8.5, depending on the margin. So you need to get your loan documents, read those, understand what they say, call your banker, schedule an appointment, and get in there and get a plan together. Because having your commercial loan rates double is significant still. So be proactive about that as well. I want to encourage you to stay tuned each month as we talk about what's happening in the latest activities of the economic environment and also find our new speaker for next month as well. So as I move into our prime segment, I am so excited to have Dacia Coffey joining us today. And I am actually going to read her bio because it is too incredible not to, and I wouldn't get it right, most likely. CEOs and sales leaders from around the world call on Dacia to break through revenue plateaus and maximize sales and marketing efforts. A renowned strategist, Dacia is a fractional chief marketing officer and CEO of the Marketing Blender, an award-winning B2B sales and marketing alignment agency. She's also an Inc. magazine Entrepreneur of the Year, a Forbes contributor, was named an American Advertising Federation Shooting Star. She's the author of the book Corporate Caffeine. I have it. I love it. I read it. Co-host of the Marketing Blender Show and an internationally recognized speaker for helping people unleash individual and organizational potential. Dacia's high-energy style and surprising insights deliver motivation and actionable tips to catalyze change and transform revenue strategy and growth. Dacia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Janice. I'm so excited to be here. I always love getting to spend time with you, but now on camera.
I love it. It's awesome. Well, I know you, I love you, but I want everybody else to as well. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
So, gosh, where to start? First of all, I have been in North Texas for, 20 years at this point. Originally grew up in Atlanta and then got to Texas as quickly as possible, as most people would say. My husband and I used to have a company in oil and gas, a trucking company. And then I've had the Marketing Blender for 11 and a half years. I've got 4 boys. They're all in their 20s now. How did that happen? And the heartbeat behind it all is I am so passionate about helping people unleash potential. Now, sometimes that's individual potential and finding their confidence and finding the voice in the world. And sometimes it's organizational potential around unleashing lead generation or revenue or fixing your messaging and really finding your stride in the market. But I get very excited about helping individuals really understand how to go bigger in the marketplace.
That's amazing. And you just are able to connect with so many people on different levels and businesses. That's a true gift that you have. So that's one reason I love you, but that's one reason why I wanted you here today, because this outreach to our community and our small business is so important to me and to my bank to help educate, inform, because small businesses, I find, really can get lost in the shuffle of too many things to have to get done. And they need to look at maybe outsourcing some of that. And that's one way that I see that you're a real asset to them.
And we definitely help there. But, another thing about small business is that there's a shorter runway. So many small businesses are looking at, how do I hit that monthly nut? Like, how am I even breaking even, let alone talking about how to go from survive to thrive. And marketing has a tendency to be this just black hole. And you named it. I mean, small business owners are wearing so many hats. Their teams usually are too. And so then who owns marketing? What does this even mean? And how do you make sure you have return on investment? And people go, oh, I love talking about that. I don't even know how to think about it because I'm so busy. And, we've started 2 businesses, bootstrap, both of them. There's no silver spoon hidden in one of my backpacks or my purses anywhere. And so, marketing can be such a dangerous place because it can be a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of attention, or it can be the thing that helps you leapfrog the really painful scenario of going, where the heck is my next customer, my next client going to come from? How am I going to grow? And it should be answering that question, but so often it just feels like this murky, gray, confusing, overwhelming area.
That is a great analogy. Absolutely. So we're going to go through a few questions today so that I can just really help connect the viewer with you and get some of those pieces of wisdom that you've learned over your entrepreneurial journey.
Let's do it. Love it.
What are the biggest mistakes that small businesses make when it comes to marketing?
Oh, not thinking about who they're trying to reach and whether or not they're reaching them at a time and a place that will trigger buying interest. So social media is a great example. Every small business thinks they need to do social media. Okay, let's back that up. They need to be thinking, who are my ideal customers? Every business, no matter how big or how small, only has 3 or 4 common personalities that make up the majority of the revenue and all of their profit. Because all of us have sold to profit killers and joy stealers. I mean, it's horrible. And that's unfortunately. So you can sell to those people. I don't recommend it, but sometimes they sneak in, but don't market to everyone. And I so often hear small businesses say, well, I could serve everyone. Yeah, but you don't have enough marketing dollars, nor time, nor attention, nor daylight to go market to everyone. So we need to niche that down, or even if it's not restricting to a niche, we need to make a strategic decision around who are you reaching? And then that becomes decision-making criteria. So I hear a lot of people say things like, well, should I be on Facebook? I don't know. Are your best buyers on Facebook? If the answer is no, you don't have to be on Facebook. Oh gosh, do I have to do those silly TikToks? Are your ideal buyers on TikTok? If the answer is yes, you need to have a strategy around TikTok. Now, and then the second part is, why are they on TikTok if they are? And if they do make buying decisions on TikTok, then there's your double yes, yes, go type of moment. But if not, if it's really just for entertainment and they're never going to convert from interest into inquiry, well, then maybe we deprioritize that and we think, how do we reach our market when they need us? And we just need to calm it down to that logical level. And so every single tactic rolls back to, will this help me reach my buyer when they want me and need me the most? And marketing should be that calm and logical, if you will, and less about, should I do this? Should I do this? What about this? I've heard about this idea. Shh. Like, think about your buyers and go where they go.
I love that. Yes. Just drilling down to finding the baseline of what can make you be successful.
Yes. Yes.
And it's not a shotgun. Can't do that.
No.
I don't find that to be successful.
100%. And big businesses aren't successful with that either. I mean, it might feel like it because they have more resources, but they are hindered by the requirement to be strategically focused as well. And so it's the same rules. We just right size them up or down. And small business needs to be more disciplined around strategic focus because they don't have as big of a runway as a larger company.
Yes, absolutely. What tactics should small businesses use?
Okay. So we did talk about the decision-making criteria to choose those tactics, but I do want to outline thinking about tactics and back to where is that buyer in their journey, right? So there are tactics that are tip of the spear. And what I mean by that is people are ready to buy. And so this might be Google Ads as an example, where people are typing in restaurant near me, or, saying that into their phone, or they are doing the type of research that indicates that they are going to buy software or need a consultant or hire a coach or hire a lawyer, or they're looking for a CPA. So tip of the spear, that means they are going to convert. They are going to choose somebody and you need a seat at the table. A couple other examples of that are figuring out how to do referral marketing, because a lot of people, especially if you're a small business in professional services, as an example, people ask their friend, they ask their coach, they ask their CPA, they ask their banker, do you know anybody? They go to their chamber and they ask the room, who's great, who's been helped before. And so then think, okay, well, how do I get in front of those referral partners? Now, this is not visibility in front of everyone. This is visibility in front of the right people. And then being good to them, building a real relationship with you, finding out if Janice is a referrer, how can I make her life better? How can I invest my time and really invest in a relationship that's good for her, good for me, and proves that I am actually worthy of the introduction? And just thinking through those type of tactics. Then you've got tactics that do get you out there where you need more people to know. Video and podcasts are great for this because they're just so rich and you get the space to talk about this. Paying for social media, and I hate to say that, but if you need reach, a lot of times it is paying. But again, it's always about go where your buyers go. But if you don't think there's a likelihood of a sale inside of that relationship, you need to be thoughtful about your networking, thoughtful about your social media, thoughtful about what you're paying for, because the world needs you to be in business. Right. And I think we get really weird about, oh, well, I don't want to be salesy. Yes, you do. People love to buy. They just hate to be sold. You need to be out there so that they can be well served and that you are easy to find. But we don't want to waste time, not theirs and not yours. And so just again, rolling back to, is this a buying environment? And let's focus on that.
Great words of wisdom. And truly, I think in everything that you just said, bringing the value, yes, it's sales, but bringing the value to what you're selling
Yeah.
is so important. Well, how can small businesses generate more leads?
Great question. So I'm not going to keep saying the same thing because everybody realizes it, but it really is about thinking through. So I do want people to think, if you're in a referral environment, referrals are lead gen, and you shouldn't be hoping for them to happen. You should be sowing relationship seeds and relationship equity and really being intentional with the right people and bringing value for the right people so that it's reciprocal. Google Ads, people can afford this as long as they work with the right keyword strategist, because people are typing in something near me and they are researching. And so if you have a person that can really get you in the right geography, really clearly articulate to you how much does it cost to win, because Google does tell us that if you put $500 into the machine, how many dollars do you get out? That's what you should be asking. That's what a talented, even a freelance digital marketer, even if you can't afford to work with a digital marketing agency, they should be giving you very straightforward advice about, here's the investment, here's the return that you get for that, and the likelihood that you'll get meetings or new customers. And so thinking about that, I really love those components. And then again, going back and thinking about where are my buyers going? And it's amazing, if you ask the right questions, you'll start to come up with clever, creative answers. There's a great old book called Duct Tape Marketing that I love, that I feel like really unleashes small businesses' creativity around be clever, show up in unusual places, go where your buyers go. And so I think there's just so much out there, but I think strategic discipline is the key to getting more leads.
Absolutely. What's something you've learned during your entrepreneurial journey that you wish you would have learned sooner?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. How many hours do we have for this one? Okay.
Pick a good one.
Right. I think I'm going to rattle through a couple really quickly. Don't hire ahead of revenue. So do not think, oh, if I just hired an admin, or if I just hired a number two, or if I just added somebody to my team, it would free me up to go make more money. No. You need to make the money first, and then you need to buy help, hire people that will help you provide the thing that's already working. Pay very, very close attention to what your market wants and not what you want to sell them. Huge disconnect in small business, especially. And so really paying attention and be curious about what people are saying. If you have a stubborn customer or stubborn client and they're kind of arguing with you, take the time to ask yourself, what do they really want? How can I be curious about this? What are they telling me about value? And how can I actually create that value for them? It is an absolute game changer, but you've got to give yourself the mental bandwidth and the permission to do that. And potentially even go back to that customer and ask deeper questions, because the faster you iterate your business and define value like the customer defines value, the faster you will accelerate referrals, leads, revenue, and cross-sell and upsell your customers. So I think that's a really, really big one. And then cash flow. One of my favorite books is by Keith Cunningham. And it's this blueprint book. And I was a business major. I took all the accounting classes. I took all the finance classes. Like, I'm good at math. No, it took, but really building intentionally your financial knowledge around how to read your profit and loss statement, and to understand that is not your cash flow statement, and that you do not look at your bank account number as financial health. No, there are already things that have happened inside of your account that you might have forgot about, and just building that business financial literacy, absolute game changer, because I feel like that investment, number one, builds your confidence as a business owner. Then it helps people like bankers or accountants or, legal, anybody else that you need and that's required. It teaches you to ask them better questions so then they can serve you better and really help guide you because you're listening with different ears. And then, of course, you make better decisions, like once you really know where the numbers fall. And the numbers are the lifeblood of business. You might as well get good at them now. Like, don't wait on that one. So yeah, I could keep going, but those are probably three really big ones that just go boom. I got a huge list.
You are speaking my language. I'm telling you, I'm so passionate about financial literacy. And, that just drilling it down, no question is a dumb question.
Thank you.
Know your numbers and where they came from and why.
Yes.
I'm a why gal. And that's one thing that I do with my customers is tell me about you. Tell me the why.
Yeah.
So that I can go be your voice.
Yeah.
And let's really look at the numbers and see where things came from. And you have to understand, you might have an accountant preparing those numbers, but you have to understand where they came from
100%.
and why.
100%. And accountants help you understand what happened after the fact. But bankers and other financial people and your personal financial literacy helps you project what could happen in the future. And you need both. Can't just have one. And so I'm a big fan. And one weird tip I would say is if anybody is ever talking to a financial consultant, whether it's a banker or anyone else, and you feel stupid, run away because you're right. Like really wonderful, heart forward numbers people don't think like that. You don't think like that. The people that got me here, and all the bankers and the CFOs and the partners and the friends that were in finance that I got brave enough to ask the dumb questions and go, I just read this thing in a book, or I'm looking at my spreadsheet. Can you tell me what you see through your eyes? Real, just frank conversations, absolute game changers. And none of those people made me feel stupid. So I think that's a really big deal.
It is a big deal. And, when you're working with your banker, especially for me, I have relationships and it's from my heart because I want you to succeed. Yeah. As I was leaving the bank to come do the podcast, I got a delivery and it was this beautiful plant this morning. And I thought, whoa, what is this for?
Yeah.
And it was a customer saying, thank you for being so kind in the way you said no and not yet without making me look like the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that just spoke volumes to me. I mean, that's my heart. That's what I try to convey. But to have someone actually see that and appreciate that, it made my heart full.
It's so amazing.
It's
so amazing. And, and it's such a great point. Business should be heart forward. And I mean that from the core of my being, because every single business is in existence to serve another human being, give them something they want, give them something they need, help them overcome a challenge. Like every one of us serves one another. And the better you serve people, the bigger your bank account gets. And that is heart forward if you allow yourself to think like that. And, I even think about having hard conversations with small businesses. I don't care how excited you are to be on social media. If that is not going to prosper you, I will tell you the truth. And I think everybody needs to be hungry for that kind of relationship and that kind of knowledge, because financial literacy and the knowledge about all of the core business practices, marketing, sales, operations, finance, and eventually people, that hunger for knowledge is the game changer. Like you have to grow yourself if you're going to grow your business as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, what final word of encouragement could you give us today?
Oh, gosh. I think I am going to double down and just kind of extend on that. Like allow servant leadership and humility to really guide your business decision, right? So in your sales and marketing, because that's what we were talking about originally, you're there to serve people. And I said this earlier, but it bears repeating. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So if they're having a conversation with you, if they're checking out your website, if they're looking at your social media, it's because they're already interested in you. And so then doing the thinking and the planning to be like, well, how do I serve them? What natural questions or fears would they have about buying this? Or what makes them nervous? Or what are the different ways if they don't buy from me that they could get harmed if they go with someone else or if they're not equipped? Bring that into your marketing. I mean, that is really resonant when every single time they engage with you, from your personal branding to your business content, that it progresses them towards what they want and what they need. Oh my gosh. Number one, it's way more effective because being good is good for business, but also it's effective for your heart and for your confidence to know that you're literally walking in what you are called to do and in real integrity, in real brand reputation because you're being the real deal. And so just allowing people's authenticity and their heart. It's not ooey gooey. It really does accelerate your success, but you've got to give yourself that thinking time to be strategic about, well, how can I really let that help me accelerate my revenue and make good decisions?
That's amazing. And before I have you share with the viewers how to find you, I am so excited to share with the community that you are going to be a speaker at an event coming up in October
Yes.
for the Greater Keller Chamber of Commerce. We have an annual event. I'm the committee chair, and our bank is the one of the founding presenting sponsors for the event. And it's a day for women. Men can come too, and sometimes they do.
That's right.
But it's a day for the unsung hero of the woman and all that she has to accomplish. And the event is called WISE, WISE, and that is an acronym for Women Inspiring Success and Empowerment. And you are going to be one of our speakers.
Yes.
So give us a little nugget of what we can expect.
Oh, we are going to be diving into personal branding because I find so frequently, especially with women, that we don't want to feel like embarrassed when we're putting things out or that we're being arrogant or we get so inside of our head where we restrict what can truly serve other people. So we're going to be diving into personal branding, but also messaging and actually how to do that in a way that feels amazing and really, really works with the audience. And we're going to get so practical. I mean, anybody that comes to this event, and the other speakers, I am so excited to share the stage. People had better bring their notebooks and their pens. I mean, because this is one, I am so excited. I am already like writing down my questions and getting prepared, but this is going to be highly actionable. And then we are going to twist it right at the end into how can you make sure that your marketing decisions will make you money? So tension, time, and money, your ATM. Like doing a little silliness, like a little marketing there. But how do you literally steward all three of those so that when you put $1 into your marketing ATM, you get money, a lot more money back out? And I really want to arm women and small businesses with some very exciting things that get them motivated, but that they literally say to themselves, I know exactly what I'm doing on Monday. Like, I'm so excited. I've got new energy, new optimism to just go serve the world and crush it. So yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
excited.
It's going to be a spectacular day. And we have already sold a ton of tickets. Everything is ready. There are a few tickets left. So I would encourage you, if you're watching this video, then you do need to reach out to the Greater Keller Chamber in Keller, Texas, and see if there are any tickets left. We sold all of our sponsorships. We've got great marketing tables. It is going to be a day like none other.
Woo!
And unforgettable.
Yes.
All right. So Dacia, tell us all about you, where to find you, and how to reach you.
Thank you for that. So my firm is called The Marketing Blender. We actually have a YouTube channel called The Marketing Blender as well. So very easy to find us. And especially if you're in B2B or small business, we are trying to give you information to help you stop waste money and wasting sanity. So you can find me there. And then, of course, you can find me on LinkedIn. I absolutely love connecting with other business owners. And so my name is very easy to find with the first name like Dacia. And yeah, those are probably the big highlights.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here with me today. I really appreciate it.
Janice, my honor. Thank you so much for what you do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's switch gears. And, I love to love to celebrate people. I love to celebrate our teachers and our educators. And so each month we acknowledge and award a gift from Great Plains Bank to Carroll ISD staff. I was going to say teachers, but there's actually a staff member each month. The Carroll ISD for the school board, they choose 3 deserving employees. And their award is Inspiring Excellence. And then it's actually titled #InspireExcellence. And so from the nominations from the school board, we are acknowledging Rachel Turner, Elementary Teacher of the Month, Rebecca Beard, Secondary Teacher of the Month, and Nicole Williams, Employee of the Month. We were able to give them a small celebration for their time and their service to our children and our future leaders of this community this past month. And Great Plains Bank just really wants to celebrate and recognize them. As of today, we're also featuring our 2024 class very last scholarship recipient, Zach Troutman. Zach was the deserving CISD senior that received our Dragon of the Month scholarship, $500 reward on that. And he is going to do great things. We're so excited for what he's doing in college. Now we have started over, and we actually have the class of 25 Dragon of the Month scholarship already started, already receiving those nominations, and the folders and the information packets are available on our website. So you can go to Great Plains Bank and find those. Also, please tell other Carroll ISD seniors to look us up, call us, come by. We'll give all the information because we want to definitely give back to our community and for those students going beyond bigger and better. So before we have our closing remarks for this podcast, we are at a time and place in our country where it's crucial that each person, no matter your decision, but get out and vote. Make sure that your voice is heard and go vote. Early voting is about to start with our elections coming up, and it's just important. I just want to encourage everyone, take the time, figure out where to go, make sure you're registered, and get out and vote by or before the election happens. Now, as we're about out of time, I do want to share with you a quick update on our South Lake branch. You know, based on our last podcast, that the renovations are complete. We are fully functioning and open in our beautiful new renovated space that will be there for generations to come. Really enjoy. We had our grand reveal this past month, and it was celebrated by a tremendous amount of our community members, city, and chambers. And I just want to thank you all for coming out that you did in support of us. It was a great day. But also, if you didn't get to come because you were ill or out of town, I want to invite you to come to the bank. Have a personal tour. We'd love to show you around, and you're just going to see a warm and inviting, great coffee machine that just gives you all the different kinds of coffee that you want, and we'll serve you. My staff is learning to be baristas as well as bankers. So I want to invite you to look up Great Plains Bank on our website, www.gpbanktx.com. The phone number is 817-912-3444. We're right here in South Lake, 325 East South Lake Boulevard, South Lake, Texas. And we want you to come by and experience what true hometown banking should be, an environment that gives you all the tools necessary as a small business or as a consumer to survive, but not survive, thrive. We're here for you. We want to give you those tools and teaching financial literacy, if need be. We love that. We invite you to come be a part of that as well. So I'm Janice Spooner, your host for this podcast, Banking on Success Together. And until next time, I am going to encourage you to be kind often, stay well, and remember, we are greater together.